Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm very excited about a brand new product for my Jeep Wrangler, and this is really going to enhance my off-roading. This is the brand new WOLFBOX HyperFlow 60D off-road air compressor. And I think this is officially going to be able to replace my Smittybilt air compressor that I've used for years in the back of the Jeep. Let me start by telling you one of my favorite things about this compressor. My regular air hose from the garage plugs right into the compressor. Didn't have to do any adapters, didn't have to do anything. It literally plugs right in. That is a big difference compared to a lot of the compressors you get nowadays on the market. Like the plug that came on my Smittybilt compressor. WOLFBOX already thought about that, and they put the correct plug on here. The other amazing thing about this compressor, it's got an LCD display, so you can easily set the desired tire PSI, and it'll automatically stop once it gets to that PSI. That's another thing that I'm missing on my current compressor. At the end of the video, I'm gonna see if this compressor can use a regular air hose, and if it'll blow, see if it compares against the WOLFBOX MegaFlow 200. So let's go ahead and do a quick unboxing and see everything that it comes with. First thing that's in here are the instruction manuals. Again, this is the HyperFlow 60D. A couple warnings on here. It does show that the tops of these cylinders do get hot, so keep that in mind. To prolong service life, continuous use over 60 minutes, allow the compressor to cool to ambient temperature before resuming. So essentially you can run this for 60 minutes straight. Anything longer than that, it wants you to allow it to cool off. The carry handle, the air filter, cylinder heads, there's also cooling fans on each side of the cylinder heads. Quick connect, LED light on the rear, battery clamps, anti-vibration rubber feet, comes with an air hose, and it comes with a quick connect that disconnects on the end of the air hose. So this unit will automatically shut off once it gets to the desired PSI. You can go through different modes. Looks like there is a manual mode. Auto stop is disabled in manual inflation mode. This mode is designed for specialized pressure control and rapid top-offs. The compressor will not shut off automatically. It will pause only if the real-time pressure exceeds the upper limit, triggering the internal overpressure protection. Monitor the pressure constantly to prevent overinflation. Display shows the dynamic pressure during inflation. For precise reading, manually pause inflation to verify static pressure. And then it says here, turn on the vehicle before starting the air compressor. This thing does use a lot of power, so you're gonna wanna have your vehicle running when airing up your tires. It looks like this air compressor has two washable filters. So you are actually able to remove them and take out the foam filters, wash with warm water, no chemicals, and then allow them to dry fully. And then here are some specs. Amp ratage, 85 amps. Duty cycle, 60 minutes. Continuous use at 40 PSI. 37-inch tire, 10 to 40 PSI. It's 3 minutes. We will test that. Max pressure, 150 PSI. Sensor accuracy within 2 PSI. Air hose length, 25.4 feet. This is the coolest part of air hose connector. It is 1/4-inch MPT style, or the M style. So it is a regular style that you would have on all of your compressors at your house. Next we have the carrying bag. Nice to have everything in one easy spot to carry everything. Next thing we have is the air hose. And then you can see there's that little quick disconnect on the end. And again, these are the regular fittings for your compressors at home. That is awesome. And then we've got the official unit. Has the battery clamps. You can put it from the front or the rear. Here is your hose with, again, that regular connection. Nice thick rubber on the end here also. Nice feedback for the buttons. I'm ready to plug this guy in and test it out. We're gonna be testing it on this Jeep Wrangler. These are 37-inch tires. And I've got my gauge right here, so we'll keep an eye on the accuracy of this compressor. We're gonna go from 5 PSI to 35 PSI. That way I wanna see how quickly this airs up your tire. I have my BMW outside the garage, and then I'm gonna run some battery cables to inside the garage, and I'll have the BMW running. That way you can have the full voltage for this air compressor. It's over 100 degrees outside, so I've got the AC on in the garage. So that's why we're running it that way. And then I also have a thermal camera. We're gonna check the temperatures of this air compressor, see how hot it gets. And then we will also compare it against a home compressor. This is 8-gallon, 4.1 CFM at 90 PSI. We're gonna compare it on the speed for that. So let's go ahead and get everything ready to test this compressor. WOLFBOX claims this can air up your 37-inch tire faster than you can drink a cup of coffee. I drink iced coffee, so I'm not sure if that's going to be true, but we're gonna see just how fast this can air up my 37-inch tire. Also, at the end of the video, I'll go through some things that I really like about this compressor, and I'll also go through some things that I found could be better. All right, we are getting ready to do our first testing. I've got this set up here, 5.1 PSI. The WOLFBOX says 3.6. I've got it set to 35 PSI. We'll see how accurate it is on 35 PSI on here. And we also have a timer down here. So we'll see how hot this machine gets. We'll see how accurate it is, and we'll see how long it takes. And you can see here, the temperature says the WOLFBOX is 96 degrees, right in the center there. So we'll see just how hot it gets. Start the BMW up. And 3, 2, 1. So it automatically shuts off. And it is done. We've got 2 minutes and 56 seconds, and that is from 5 PSI to 35 PSI. The gauge here says 36.1 and the WOLFBOX says 35. So that is within range of accuracy that WOLFBOX expects. Let's look at the temperature. Showing here, the hottest part on the WOLFBOX is the cylinder head. That's at 151 degrees. And then it shows the cord there, the hose, being at as hot as 109. So a lot of times you can't really grab this hose here because it's so hot. This is cool to the touch. This is still cool to the touch. And the hose starts to get a little bit warm down here. But realistically, that says 109 right here. This is still hot. I could disconnect it from here without worrying. Touching up here is where it's going to be hot. This is not hot, not hot. This part right here is 149 degrees, which it is hot. The rest of it is not hot. That is awesome. The hose here is a little bit warm. It says 132 degrees for the hose, 146 coming out of there. I can grab it with my bare hands, but if I had gloves on, it would definitely not be too hot at all. WOLFBOX claims here that it'll do a 37-inch tire from 10 to 40 PSI in less than 3 minutes. Let's check that out. Let's do that test and see if it can. Each time the WOLFBOX pauses, I'm gonna pause the timer just to get an accurate reading of how long it takes with this compressor running. And 10 PSI to 40 PSI in 3, 2, 1. PSI is what it says on the WOLFBOX air compressor. And the time is 2 minutes and about 59 seconds. And our actual PSI, 41.5. And our temperature of the compressor, 154 right on the cylinder heads. The cable got up to 44 degrees. And the cable here is not even hot. So here it does not even feel hot at all. This cable here starting to feel warm, but not really hot. No, it's hot up close. And then this will be hot. The sides of it are not hot at all. Wow. None of this is hot. The only thing that's hot is literally these little cylinder heads right here. You can see that on the thermal camera. The body of it is 90 degrees, 95 in some areas, and then just the cylinder heads and the hose coming out are what's hot. That's awesome. I also wanted to check how hot the cable gets. So let's see. It says it is 98 degrees. 98 degrees, that's the electric cable. And then even the cable coming from the BMW, about 96 degrees. Alligator clips, 101. So even the electrical cable is not getting too warm. That's just awesome, the fact that you're not pumping extremely hot air into the tire. And just for reference, outside, like here, the garage door and the walls, 91 degrees, 93 degrees. So it's hot outside. Also, it's cool air coming outside of the tire. Normally you've got hot air getting pumped inside the tire. This is actually cool air. You can see it's coming out at 77 degrees. Now we are going to test the Smittybilt air compressor. This is one that I've used for probably 6 years or so. It's worked good. After airing up on hot days, it will sometimes shut off before I even finish airing up. So I'm going to start it at 5 PSI, and then I'm going to pause the timer every time I stop this to check the PSI. I'm gonna go from 5 to 35.8 because that's where the other WOLFBOX tire compressor was bringing it to. So I want the PSIs to be accurate so I can compare accurate times. And then we'll compare the temperature of this. All right, again, in 3, 2, 1, go. .8. And this is the decibels that we're at right now. Took the Smittybilt 4 minutes and 46 seconds to go from 5 PSI to 35.6 PSI. Let's check the temperatures and see just how hot it is. So I see the hottest point is 185 degrees. The hose coming off of it, 168 degrees. So you can see just how hot this machine is. Right on the sides, 112. The body of it's not too terribly hot. Feels warm. This feels hot. I can touch it, but it's hot. This part will be extremely hot. And the cable, about 91 degrees, not bad. But I really want to see if this Smittybilt can blow air like an air compressor. I need to kind of keep it open. So let's see if it makes any pressure. So it makes a little bit of air. Not a lot. But now let's compare it to the WOLFBOX. I'm gonna squeeze this, that way it's not, over pressurizing everything. So you can literally use this like an air compressor. There's that. It's probably not rated to be used like that. I'm not sure, but it makes great air pressure. Now I've got it going from 0 PSI to 15 PSI. This is going to simulate a, let's say a quick fix on the trail where you're just trying to quickly air it up. Let's say if you have a puncture and you do a quick fix and now you just need to put about 15 PSI just to get off the trail. 3, 2, 1. Minute and 40 seconds. Last thing I'm gonna do is see how long it takes to pump up 2 tires simultaneously from 10 PSI to 40 PSI. And I will not stop the timer in between, I'll just stop it at the very end. Five minutes and 38 seconds. And that actually aired up to 42.2 PSI. So it says the cylinder heads are 184. The body of it is only 103. The cable is about 107. And this is a short hose, so that's why that cable is so hot right there. All right, next I want to see how long it takes to air up the tires with a home compressor. We're going to go from 10 PSI to 40 PSI. We'll see how long it takes. And I'll have to spin this knob just to start it. And it'll automatically cycle on as it needs to. So, and ready, set, go. we are at 41.4 PSI, and that was about 2 minutes to air up the tire from 10 to 40 PSI. And that's with having a full tank of air. I typically don't leave this thing filled with air just because it'll slowly leak down and cycle on and off the compressor. So the next test I'm going to do is see how fast this airs up this tire from 10 to 40 PSI with no air in the cylinder. The compressor is at 0 PSI and the tire is at 10 PSI. So let's go ahead and start it up and see how long it takes. At 40 PSI, 40.4 at 3 minutes and 21 seconds. So that means that my new WOLFBOX air compressor can air up my tires faster than my home air compressor. So that is pretty awesome. If I kept air in here, then it would probably be faster on one tire, maybe a total of 2 tires, and then the WOLFBOX compressor would then outperform this air compressor. That is awesome. All right, after doing some testing today, I can definitely say the WOLFBOX HyperFlow 60D is an amazing air compressor. Runs nice and cool, airs up my tires very fast. It's got the auto on-off switch, 60-minute duty cycle or 100% duty cycle, which is amazing. Doesn't get overly hot, and a lot of nice features about it. It comes with a nice carrying case, and yeah, I would say overall this will replace my compressor that I run inside my Jeep. So far, the only thing that I don't like is when you have this thing hardwired up, there's no on-off switch to completely turn it off. It depends on you fully disconnecting the battery cables for the air compressor to fully turn off. The Smittybilt has got an on-off switch right on top of it that fully turns it off so it won't actually turn on or it's not drawing any power. So I would say out of everything on this air compressor, I wish that it did have the option to keep it hardwired in and completely turn off the air compressor or the power. Because I think if I have it hardwired in, the screen is just going to stay on at all times. So what I'm going to do is get like a 100 amp switch. That way I can disconnect the power in the back. I still want it mounted in the back like I had the Smittybilt. So I just need a quick disconnect so it's not always drawing power. I'm excited for the 4-tire air hose. That'll be very nice to air up these tires very fast. I like the auto stop start, and overall I would say is a great product. The other area that I think they could have improved a little bit is the light on there. It's not very bright. But overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought of this air compressor. Let me know if you think it's going to replace your air compressor. And I will put a link to this air compressor in the video description, so be sure to check that out. I believe they have a sale going on right now on Amazon, so I'll put the Amazon link and the link to their website. So again, thanks for watching. Have a good day. One last thing to note, if you were looking for a smaller self-contained air compressor or jump starter, WOLFBOX does have the Megavolt 10 Air, and this is the hot pink version. This is going to be a gift for my wife for her car. This is a nice unit, does air up the tires fairly fast. I wouldn't say you would use it for the 37-inch tires, although it could air up the 37-inch tires. It's more going to be used for roadside emergencies or if the battery's dead on the Jeep. So you definitely want to check these out too. I'm going to be making a video on these guys. So again, thanks for watching. And when you are all done, you can pack it up nicely in the carrying bag. Zip it up, throw it in the Jeep.